Why your dog needs you is more important than you think. You agreed to get a dog. Perhaps it was planned out months in advance. Perhaps the decision was more spontaneous. Whatever the case, the pup landed in your life, then the real work began. The accidents on the floor. The 3 a.m. whimpering. The gnawed corner of the comfy chair. The guilt that fills you every time you leave for work. The guilt you feel every time you get frustrated with your dog. The quiet whisper in the back of your mind asking, "Are I doing this right?" If you're reading this, I know the answer is already yes. You are. Those who aren't doing it right don't sit awake at 3 a.m. wondering if they are doing it right. Stick with me for 8 more minutes. We are going to name the struggle, explain the reason behind it, and introduce 5 strategies that will completely transform the next 30 days. Let's begin by defining what new dog ownership looks like in reality, not in an Instagram reel, in reality. The expectation gap. Before your new dog arrived, you likely imagined what ownership would be like. The images in your head are likely warm, joyful, and manageable. What you got was an animal that doesn't understand your schedule, your boundaries, your furniture, or your need to sleep. This expectation versus reality is what overwhelms new owners and is not indicative of personal failing. It's universal, yet largely unspoken. Inconsistent advice. It's probable that you've already Googled your dog's behavior. If so, I guarantee you received at least 17 conflicting answers. Some might say, crate train now. Others, never crate train. Free feed versus strict schedule, alpha energy versus positive reinforcement only. The sheer volume of this advice is so daunting that implementing anything becomes near impossible. Physical and emotional exhaustion. Your puppy needs near constant attention during these first few weeks, as they can't regulate their own emotions or sleep through the night just yet. It's the equivalent of parenting a rapidly mobile and consequence-blind infant. Real-life guilt. Life outside of your dog didn't just magically vanish when your dog entered it. You still have work, family, and social obligations, a whole life lived prior to the arrival of your furry friend. Any time not spent directly with your dog can feel like a betrayal, and any moment spent frustrated can feel like a confession of unpreparedness. Both are false. Personalized behavior problems. When your dog barks excessively, pulls at the leash, refuses their crate, or tears apart your shoes, you may feel personally targeted by their behavior, and you may interpret it as a direct reflection of your failure. However, this isn't the case. Behavior is communicative, and when your dog is disoriented, bored, or simply hasn't been taught specific behaviors you require, you'll see a variety of species-normal behaviors, all signaling a request. Here is the reframe: guilt is not proof of failure, it is proof of investment. It is okay to feel overwhelmed, it means you are paying attention. It's okay to feel guilty that your life isn't what it used to be, it means you love your dog and are committed to meeting its needs. The combination of paying attention and love is the cornerstone of good dog ownership. Skills come later, and skills can be taught. What I am going to introduce to you now is not so much a training plan as it is an orientation plan. Here are 5 principles that will solidify the first 30 days and give you, and your dog, a solid footing upon which to build your new life together. Establish a predictable daily routine. Dogs naturally seek structure. They learn that predictable schedules provide them comfort, peace of mind, and security. Providing structure is a fundamental aspect of preventing separation anxiety, aggression, and problem behaviors that stem from the uncertainty that results from a lack of clear expectations and predictability. You do not need to structure every element of your dog's day, but consistent anchoring points throughout the day, such as waking times, meal times, and walking times, will allow your dog to learn and adjust relatively quickly. This predictable pattern will significantly reduce your dog's overall stress levels and anxiety, in addition to fostering more consistent bathroom habits and fewer overnight vocalizations. Apartment dwellers and individuals working full-time must understand that while their days may be busy, their commitment to their dogs requires a predictable routine that can be incorporated in manageable blocks throughout the day, rather than requiring an hour-long morning workout and hour-long evening walk that they may not always be able to commit to. "15 minutes every morning, done the same way each day, is better than spending 2 hours out one weekend every other week." Teach your dog what to do instead of what not to do. Many new owners accidentally teach dogs that all behavior must be met with correction. A dog receives correction every time they engage in undesirable behavior. It is never easy, and it can lead your dog to feel more afraid. When your dog repeatedly displays the same behavior, especially at inopportune times, they can feel that you are either unaware or unconcerned with the actual needs and desires of the animal you share your life with. If their basic needs are not met, a dog may continue to behave erratically, displaying any number of undesired actions because of confusion or fear. The trick here is simple. Rather than stopping a behavior, redirect it to a more desirable and acceptable action. For example, if your dog chews a chair leg, gently interrupt, and hand your dog their favorite toy and reward him or her when he/she takes it. They are then rewarded for not chewing the furniture. Teaching your dog acceptable behaviors reduces the need for scolding. Prepare for stressful situations before they occur. Many new dog owners fail to use one of the most effective techniques: proactive desensitization. Gently and frequently exposing your dog to certain situations before they become stressful. For example, with grooming appointments, most people take their dog without any preparation at all. This can include having their paws touched gently, hearing the blow dryer at close range, having their ears examined by a stranger in an unfamiliar setting. Your first visit can therefore be very traumatic, and subsequent visits can carry the emotional weight of that first experience. Instead, 2 weeks before the grooming appointment, spend 2 weeks desensitizing your dog with a method I call grooming confidence training. You would gently and briefly touch your dog's paws daily and immediately reward them with a treat. You could use the blow dryer in a separate room while your dog is eating, or expose them to clippers from a distance. Practice calm, stand, and stay commands while gently brushing your dog. By the time the grooming appointment occurs, your dog has a prior association. The new becomes manageable because they've already been introduced to the situation in a safe environment. This principle applies to vet visits, car rides, meeting new people, and leash walking in crowded spaces too. Introducing a situation beforehand in a safe environment can make the real thing less stressful. Use the crate as a tool for comfort, not punishment. If the crate only appears when you're leaving or when your dog has misbehaved, they'll associate it with abandonment and punishment, which is difficult to undo. Reintroduce the crate as the dog's best hangout spot in the house. Feed them meals inside with the door open, place worn clothing with your scent in it inside the crate, and randomly toss high-value treats into the crate without closing the door for the first few days. Your dog should naturally enter the crate voluntarily. Once they enter on their own and rest without distress, start closing the door for very brief periods of time, 30 seconds, with you remaining in sight, and slowly increase the duration. The objective is for your dog to associate the crate with a safe space, a den. Apartment dwellers particularly should note, the crate is not a luxury, it can be a vital psychological anchor. Dogs living in small spaces lacking a clear den may develop hypervigilance because they can't turn off. Manage your own emotional state to aid training. I've found that one of the most overlooked yet crucial solutions is managing your own emotional state. Dogs are highly attuned to human emotion, and your frustration, anxiety, or guilt is palpable to them not because of human empathy, but because of their precise interpretation of body language and biochemical signals. A tense owner leads to a tense dog. Anxious owners breed anxious dogs. It's natural to feel frustrated, but the best approach is to remove yourself from the situation for about 60 seconds, take a few deep breaths, and return with a neutral demeanor. Emotional training moments aren't conducive to learning. They induce fear, confusion, or shut down in your dog. A technique that combines training with emotional regulation is daily quiet time 10 minutes of calm, relaxed, non-demanding contact. No commands or corrections, just sitting with your dog. This calms your nervous system simultaneously and builds trust in a way that works for dogs, through repetition of safe experiences. Based on my research and the experience of many other dog owners, the following results can be seen with these 5 core components in place during the first 30 days. House training accidents typically fall 60 to 80% by the second week with consistency. Crate resistance will resolve in 10 to 14 days if the crate is properly reintroduced. Destructive chewing will diminish as dogs are given proper outlets and learn the alternative behavior. Your personal stress level will drop as well, as uncertainty not the dog is what truly exhausts people. Before we wrap up this video, take 60 seconds to write down the one behavior that is currently causing you the most stress, whether it's barking, pulling on the leash, crate refusal, accidents, or biting. Remember, this behavior is your dog's communication, and there's a clear solution for it. The next video in this series focuses on grooming confidence training, which will explain how to properly prepare your dog for grooming or vet visits to ensure they go smoothly. Following that, we'll dive into the 60-day program, leash manners, managing barking, bath anxiety, and the apartment owner's routine. Each episode targets one specific issue with one straightforward solution. Don't worry about falling behind or failing. You're in the most challenging part, the beginning. And simply by watching this video, you're already doing the most important thing, paying attention. The common complaint among dog owners is the difficulty in understanding more beneficial, but this because of the reliability arises from how the crate was initially introduced.